Okay, it is now 5:02, and we're ready to start. Good evening. Welcome to the Design Review Board meeting of October 9th, 2025. This DRB meeting is now called to order. Please refrain from talking among yourselves during the meeting, and please turn off or put on vibrate all cell phones at this time. For public comments and questions during the meeting, please call 818-937-8100. City staff will be submitting the questions and comments in real time to the appropriate person. Current DRB agendas and staff reports are available by visiting our website at www.glendaleca.gov. Records of decisions for all projects will be posted online on the Development Services Division website. A handout describing the procedures of the meeting, possible board decisions, and DRB appeal is available from staff. Please note that any appeal of a case heard today must be filed within 15 calendar days of the DRB decision date. Meetings are also archived on the city website for reviewing anytime at glendaleca.gov/agendas. Roll call. Board Member Lockhart.
Present.
Board Member Halajian.
Present.
Board Member Welch.
Present.
And Board Member Simonian is absent, and Chair Kaskanian is absent. So at this time, we will need a motion for Chair Pro Tem for this evening's meeting. Do I have a motion and a second?
I motion that Board Member Halajian is the Chair Pro Tem.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion, Board Member Lockruff, and second by Welch. I'll do a quick roll call. Board Member Lockruff,
Yes.
Board Member Welch,
Yes.
and Chair Pro Tem
Thank you.
Halajian.
Thank you.
Okay. Carries, and now we will continue moving along regarding reports regarding posting of agenda. The agenda for the October 9th, 2025 regular meeting of the Glendale Design Review Board was posted on the city's website and on the bulletin board outside City Hall on October 2nd, 2025. Regarding the approval of minutes for September 25th, 2025, we will continue this, the minutes for the next scheduled DRB meeting. We had some technical difficulties uploading them, so we want to make sure that they are properly viewable on the city's website. Okay. Next item is oral communication. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Design Review Board may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. I do not have any oral communication requests. Do you?
We do not.
Okay, so any board commission member comments at this time? Nope.
No
Okay.
comments.
So with that, we can move to the first item. We do not have any old business. Before we do, Board Member Halajian, would you like to sit in the center with
Sure.
Chair Pro Tem? Thank you. Okay. So the first item at 1928 Melwood Drive, Design Review Board, case number 004217-2024. That case will need to be continued to the next scheduled Design Review Board meeting. The story poles were not in place, and also signposting was not posted properly on the site, so therefore we will need to continue this item. Okay, so the audience is aware the first item, 1928 Melwood Drive, is not going to be heard today. It'll be continued to the next scheduled Design Review Board meeting. So with that, we will move on to the next item, which should be 2309 Hermosita Drive, Design Review Board case 005751-2024. And Chair Pro Tem Halajian, ready to hear the case?
Yes, let's move forward with the case. Thank you.
And I will introduce Eric G. He is the case planner assigned to this case.
Thank you, Chair Pro Tem and members of the board. This is Planning Associate Eric G. presenting. The project is to demolish the existing 1,848 square foot single-story, single-family residence, and construct a new 2,729 square foot new one-story single-family residence with a 343 square foot covered patio and a detached garage. The property is on a 10,200 square foot lot in the R1R zone, District 2. Neighborhood is the Verdugo Woodlands. Here in the photo is what the existing house used to look like from the street view. It is in a corner lot property. On January of 2025, due to significant wind damages, there's a tree that fell onto the house, causing significant damages to the house. And as a result, it was red tagged on January 30, 2025, as it was unsafe. The proposal is to construct a new single-family residence in a mid-century modern style. The site will be utilizing where the existing residence was, including the garage location. Here are the elevations. The new mid-century modern styles emphasized by the asymmetrical design with use of the double shed roof and large window openings. The overall height is approximately 21 feet and 7 inches. And it will utilize a variety of material, including a natural stone veneer and stucco to emphasize the asymmetrical design. And that concludes staff's presentation. Staff is available to answer any questions, and the applicant and the owner are also available to answer any questions as well. Thank you.
Any questions to the staff?
No.
No. Thank you. I invite the applicant or the architect to come and please state your name for the record, and you may present here. Thank you.
My name is Nari Kodadati. I'm the project designer of this new construction. Initially, we started as an addition to the house. We were going to keep most of the existing house and add towards the back, the side. And then, of course, after January of this last year, we went through complete, redesign, and we just went with the new construction after that, once the house was damaged. So that's where we are now.
Questions to the architect?
So you were already in process on doing
Were.
an addition before the tree fell in the house?
Yeah, we were.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's kind of
Yeah.
sucks. So-
I know.
Well, it gives you an opportunity now.
Yeah, to get a brand new house, I guess.
A question for you. So you have the shed roofs, okay, and you have a very high ceiling in the I believe that's the living room on the left-hand side. But it doesn't look like you really actually are fully utilizing the ceiling heights to bring them all the way up. Is that correct? Because it looks like in the sections that
Right.
it's flat roof across. It's not actually
Flat
vaulted ceilings there.
No, we do have a flat ceiling at 12 feet.
All
Wait,
across?
wait, yeah.
Okay. And can I ask why? Why didn't you take advantage of being able to utilize more of that?
Owners wanted a flat roof or ceiling,
Okay.
so that's why.
Because typically when I see a design like this with the offset shed roofs, there's usually a clear story in the middle to bring
Yeah,
light
to
into
bring
the
in light.
center of the house. So
Right.
I'm, obviously with the 1 foot in there, you don't have space for that. But
Right.
I was curious why you didn't explore that, because
No.
I think that's a wonderful opportunity to bring light into, a house, so.
Right, we can.
Okay.
just-
Okay. All right, that's my question, so,
That was my question as well.
okay.
Sorry.
I have one question, if I may. So, where the two roofs meet, you have a sliver of approximately a foot.
Yes, in between,
I wasn't able to determine what's that finish. Is that
stucco.
stucco finish? Okay, thank you. And second question that I have is, if I may ask, on the roof plan, You have note number 5, there's a lot of attic vents.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm curious why there's so many, and if they could be simplified further.
They will be, yeah. Once I think we go to plan check, we'll probably recalculate it and lower the amount of
You know,
roof vents.
especially when you're I mean, I saw a note that there's potential PV panels or solar panels in the
Yeah,
future that
right.
could be.
Yeah, they'll be in the way.
And are these on the living room? Those are skylights.
Skylights, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. And that answers all my questions. Thank you.
I have a question. Sorry, the other thing was, I'm noticing in a couple areas, the roof pitch is pretty low. So are there different some say 2.5, and one says 3, and one says 1.75, and I know that once you get below a certain slope, it requires a different roofing type, and so I'm just wondering which roofs are the asphalt shingle, or, yeah, is that accurate?
Probably be asphalt shingle.
Okay.
And then if it's lower than 212, then we'll have to torch down and then put asphalt shingle on top of it.
Got
don't
it.
think we
Oh,
have
you'll put
any-
it on top of the, got it. Okay, so it'll still look
It'll still
aesthetically
look-
the
right.
same.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Any additional questions?
I think that's it for me.
And if the homeowner would like to speak, this is the opportunity. If not, I would like to open for public comment. If you'd like to speak about this case, please fill out a card and step forward and state your name. I assume there are no public comments. There aren't any public comments. So with that, I close the public. I'm sorry, are there any callers?
No call.
No callers, okay. With that, I close the public hearing portion, and the board goes to deliberation, and so, yeah. A board member, Chris, if you'd like to start.
Thank you, Mr. Chair Pro Tem. I mean, I support the project. I think it's a nice design. I was a little overwhelmed by the size of the story poles for a one-story house when I went there, but, you know, now I see that it is, you know, using as much of the vertical space as possible, and I would have encouraged you to use more of the ceiling space up there, because you have wonderful opportunities to create soaring ceilings, but that's not within our purview, so I'm not really gonna, you know, comment on that. It's just that it's what I would have done if it had been me. But aside from that, the only other thing that I want to hear from my fellow board members about was the use of the stone all the way across the facade, including above the front entryway. It's a little heavy, and I'm, you know, I know that if we said, okay, eliminate that and just have it go straight up, maybe that becomes one of those monumental entry areas. So it's you know, I don't feel terribly strongly about it, but I'm curious to hear what other people think about it. Aside from that, I think the house, the design is nice. It's very well in character. I think it's consistently done throughout. And so I really have no objections to it. I'm just curious to see if anyone has any thoughts about that, the amount of stone that's being put there above the front entryway. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Welsh. Board Member Lackroff?
Yes, I agree. I think overall, I support the project. I think it's a nice design. I do have a question, now that we're realizing that is a flat ceiling, how the window will actually go all the way to the roof, you know, without being blocked by attic space. So I'm a little curious if that window, maybe, Ms. Toledo, am I allowed to ask questions of the applicant regarding that? Or I don't know how that,
We could reopen that hearing.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, if we can
If
have
I
the
can-
design team back, yeah, thank you. You're opening the
Yeah.
public portion. Yep.
In regards to
Yeah.
that ceiling height, how is the window, is it into the attic or?
No, we can vault those two rooms. One is a
Going to-
bedroom, the other one is a family room.
Okay.
So those two spaces,
Those-
we
the-
can vault it to the
Okay,
roof.
that would make
Oh,
sense. Okay, thank you. That makes more sense. Thank you. Okay, so to continue with my comments,
Yes, let's go ahead and close the public portion. Boardman
Okay.
Lakoff?
So, yeah, I support the project. That makes a lot more sense. And I think I would give the opportunity, if they are vaulting it, I would be open to it if they did want to add a clear story. I think that is a great opportunity for natural light to come in and even potential passive cooling. And so I think that, and that might even be a way to add ventilation in that area. But, and I agree with reducing the number of vents on the roof for solar. And in terms of the heaviness of the facade, I like how the massing is balanced right now. It might be that the chimney itself could be a different material or something to like help lighten that. But I'm okay with how it's reading right now as 2 volumes. Because I agree, if once you start to eliminate that middle portion, it will become more monumental.
Or even moving it up a little bit,
Right.
might make it more because it's a pretty
Right.
big door.
It is a big
that they're
door,
doing,
and it,
so.
yeah, and it's bright, but I do like the color balance as it is. So, I'm happy with the design as it stands. My one concern was slightly on the south elevation, which is also on a street. Do you have that elevation? It's just, but it is quite far back, so I think, and I think it's okay how it is. I was thinking that further plane could maybe use a different color or something to break it up a little further. But again, it's not, it would be more of a consideration. It's not something that I would require. So,
I would imagine that they would be
Yeah.
putting landscaping there because that's really into their backyard, so I would
yeah.
imagine there'd be
If
landscaping.
it's green, that would be great. And yeah, that's it. I support the project as is.
Thank you, Boardman Lacroft. I'm also in support of the project. All in all, the architect has done a nice job. And it's an unfortunate situation with the fires and a tree falling on the house. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, in terms of the roofing, again, I would like those vents to be reduced. Just aesthetically, it will look better. And then functionally, in the future, if you would like to add solar, that will help your solar installation and getting the advantage of the roof, especially on the south elevation or south facing. As far as the facade, Board Member Welsh, I do like the stone design. I'm curious if you can remind me your suggestion again. Is it, are we reducing it or?
Well, the idea would be that you would, where the height level is, where, for the porch, the little overhang there, you would just raise that up, I wouldn't suggest raising it all the way up to the roof, but you could raise it up a little bit. But again, I don't feel strongly enough about it to really
Yeah.
say that I think it should be done. I wanted to get some deliberation from others, but like I said, I'm fine with it as it is as well.
I do like that. Again, we can make maybe a suggestion. I think
Consideration.
I think it's a good idea, but I think it's a good idea, but I'd like them to try it.
Yeah, they can explore it, and leave it as a consideration for them.
yeah, and that will help with more natural light going into from the main entryway. So
Yeah, because then they could perhaps do a transom over the main door or something like that.
that's right. So those are my comments. Really, it's just on the roof elevation. Overall, in support of the project, and that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll move the project for approval with one condition to reduce the number of attic vents and one consideration to work with staff to explore potentially moving up the ceiling of the front entryway a little bit, but consideration only.
Should we add the consideration also of the clear story if they wanted to add that? Or-
Sure, we
Yeah,
can add a clear,
just so that's open.
an additional consideration to incorporate a clear story. That might, they'd have to adjust the pitching of the roof a little bit, but they could consider it.
I second the motion.
And if I may add just one single clarification, that that strip of 1 foot that where the both roofs meet, let's make that call out to be stucco, as the applicants commented, so, just for clarity.
So is that a condition to call
I
that?
think it just, it should be a condition, yeah, since the applicant,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I'll take the friendly amendment to add an additional condition to ensure that that's strip between the two roof pitches is the stucco material. You'll have to re-second it.
I second the motion. Thank you.
Case planner says he's noted of all the conditions and considerations, so we don't need to read it back to the board? We're okay?
Yes.
Okay, we're good.
That was a motion by Board Member Welch to approve the project with conditions, and it was a second by Board Member Lockruff. Board Member Welch?
Yes, but just point of order, there was two considerations as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
okay.
have two conditions, two considerations.
Very good, okay, yes, approved, yes.
Board Member Welch was a yes, and Board Member Lockruff,
Yes.
and Chair Pro Tem,
Yes.
Ms. Pelagians, yes, okay. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
If you would like to make a public comment, please fill out the card.
Okay. Moving along, this would be 201 West Glen Oaks Boulevard. And this is design review, case number 003-252-2024 advisory. And the case planner is Eileen Babahani, our senior planner.
Okay, are we ready?
That's ready. Let's go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you again. So this is an advisory review before you. This stage 1 was approved already by City Council, so I'm going to give you a very brief overview for this project. The case number is PDR 00325-2024. The project is addressed as 201 West Glen Oaks Boulevard. This is proposing to demolish an existing commercial surface parking lot, which is an approximately 7,920 square feet, in order to build a new 4-story medical office. This new building will have a total square footage of around 19,600 square feet. The project is proposing 1 loading space on the ground level. It is required to provide 78 parking spaces. However, it qualifies for 100% parking deduction pursuant to state's AB 2097 regulations, and therefore it does not provide any parking spaces. Stage 1 of this project was reviewed and approved by City Council back in June of 2025. Subject to the following conditions that you can see on the screen: provide greater interior setbacks considering the existing and future developments, consider providing parking spaces for the building, or provide parking options in nearby facilities or properties or through automated parking system, and also provide eye-level street view renderings to show the proposed project in relation to the adjacent properties. The current design is the same design that was presented to City Council. This design will be modified to reflect the above comment and also any comment that you may have today. The project site is located mid-block on the north side of Arden Avenue to the south of the existing landscape space within the public right-of-way along Glenox Boulevard. And also the Verdugo Wash is located to the north of this project site. The site is zoned downtown specific plan getaway district. The project is surrounded by high-density multifamily residential and commercial building, including retail, restaurant, general, and medical offices. We have Hilton Hotel directly located to the east side of the project site. Across Arden Avenue to the south, we have the 5-story parking structure and 1-story vacant restaurant, and also the parking lot. The location of this 1-story restaurant and parking lot basically will be developed with new multifamily building that you reviewed recently. I put the rendering of the project here for your reference. Also to the west side of the project site, we also have the another 1-story restaurant with a parking lot. The primary entrance to the building, as well as vehicular access to that one on-grade loading space, will be from Arden Avenue. The project provides secondary entrances on the west side and also on the north side, which is basically the rear of the building, facing open space and Glenox Boulevard. As designed, the project complies with the street setback requirements of the DSP, mixed-use commercial streets. Projects in DSP that are located along mixed-use commercial streets are required to have a minimum of 18-foot street setback from the curb face of the street. This project provides a minimum of 24 feet and 10 inches street setback from the curb face along Arden Avenue. It also provides approximately 47 feet setback from the curb face along Glenox Boulevard. While the DSP does not require interior setbacks, the project includes setbacks ranging from 5 feet 8 inches to approximately 2 feet along both east and west side. This slide shows the site layout and floor plan of the ground level of the project. The project does not require to provide publicly accessible open space because the lot is not greater than 50 feet in width. Basically, this is a smaller scale project in compared to other DSP projects. Therefore, most of the DSP standards do not apply to this project. However, it provides landscaping planters on the ground level. Details and specification for the landscaping and planter will be reviewed during stage 2 for the final design review. The proposed floor area ratio for this project is 2.47, and the building height is 70 feet. Floor area ratio of 7.25 and height limit of 275 basically are the maximum height limits by right in this zone. On this slide, we have renderings showing the front, rear, and west side of the proposed building. The design of this building is consistent with the design standards, policies, and intent of the DSP, and represent a contemporary design concept. The proposed project features high-quality materials. It varies in colors and textures. It provides recessed and visible entrances, and also recessed balconies, and also divided and uniform larger windows and canopies. More detailed look to the building material, fenestration, gate, lighting plan, signage for this building, paving materials for the entry area, street improvements, and landscaping detail will be finalized during the stage 2 final design review before City Council. Also, as you know, environmental review is not part of this review today, and it will be prepared for the stage 2 final review. The project complies with the DSP design standards, and to comply with the DSP modulation of height requirement, and the project designed a corner feature on the building corner at the southwest corner, also to comply with the DSP requirement for facade modulation. The project is providing a clearly delineated base, middle, and top, representing different materials and different color for each level. Here in this slide, we have the 3D rendering showing the lighting plan for this project. And we have some specification of the exterior materials here. In conclusion of my presentation, staff recommends that Design Review Board provide comments and recommend that City Council approve this project. And staff did not receive any public comment for this project. And that was the presentation.
Thank you. Any questions to the staff?
No.
No. Thank you.
Anytime.
I would like to invite the architect or the applicant to speak publicly, and please state your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Chris Manasarian. I'm representing the applicant, SH Central LLC, for the project. And we prepared a presentation for you. Eileen, thank you very much. You did a great job. I'm not going to repeat things over and over again, but there were just some points from the stage 1 hearing that I wanted to clarify. And we also have the architect here as well to answer any questions that you might have. Or
I can
just-
move the slides. Or,
So just a little bit of site context. The project, the proposed project is going to be a state-of-the-art, basically brand-new medical center, approximately 19,600 square feet. Pretty small compared to the types of projects that are going on around that area. It's located near both Glendale Memorial Hospital and the Glendale Adventist Hospital. So it's near 2 hospitals which need, support from other more independent medical centers, things of that nature. Project is going to be very well served by transit. There's the new bus line that's going to be going through there, the Metro BRT. That's going to be right adjacent to the property, and as well, along with that, there's also multiple bus lines in the area. I think I have a few of them listed: Metro Route 92, Glendale Butte 1, Route 11, and then the Commuter Express. It's located in a very density-rich area. There's, these are just some of the examples of the apartments. There's 507 residential dwelling units at Altana, which is on Central and Duran. There's 235 units at Modero, which is very nearby as well, and then there's 105 that's going to be planned right across from the property at the former Conrad site. Next slide, thank you. So just to give you an idea of how small this site is, it's actually just a 7,920 square foot parcel that's basically connected to the restaurant. So the restaurant is a much bigger parcel, and this one is kind of sandwiched in between the Hilton and the Crab Avenue. So this project is really an exciting way to kind of, utilize its full potential and actually have something that's going to serve the community in that area. It also abuts the open green space right to the north of it, which is kind of like a little pocket park. I don't know the exact, I know it's a public right-of-way, but there are benches and chairs and, things to kind of serve the community. And it would be a great way, the project, to activate those areas and have people come out and actually use those amenities that the city is providing. This is just the project summary. I think Eileen did a great job of just going through everything. I just want to say that, we took a lot of time to make sure that we complied with every single one of the Glendale Downtown Specific Plan guidelines. There's a lot of different regulations and rules and things of that nature. And this was, I think the product came out amazing, honestly, given the constraints that we had with just every single regulation that we had to go with. Also, very modestly sized compared to what is actually allowable on that site. For example, we can go up to 7.25 to 1, 25 FAR to 1, which is something like 60,000 square feet. This goes, a third of that, essentially, 19,600 square feet. We can go up to 275 feet in height, 70 feet in height. It's a third of the size. So it's a modestly sized project, but it's a beautiful project. Excellent. This is just site plan. You can go through these. This is first floor. These are just site layouts in case you have any questions on, what's actually going on inside the building. These are the elevations. We had some questions about the windows. Just some information about the spandrel glass that we'll be using. I think Marina can do a better job explaining that to you. Next slide. Next slide. And then this is the material board, renderings. Next slide. Next slide. Next. Okay, so here were the comments from our stage one. There was, the first comment that was kind of brought up was the greater interior setbacks to consider the existing and future proposed development. Well, as of right now, well, I'll get to that in a second. So can you go, sorry, let me go through every single one. And then second one was consider providing parking for the building because we are a zero parking structure. And then the third was provide eye-level renderings. Next one. So this is the request for the greater interior setbacks. The applicant did explore trying to provide greater interior setbacks. We're a very narrow lot. There's approximately like 50 feet, less than, right under 50 feet, and we already do provide some setbacks. Future development is going to be a concern on the westerly side of the property because that's where the restaurant is. They're hoping that someday someone will come and develop that. So far, there have been no plans for development. So regardless of kind of, whether or not that development is going to happen, we did explore having a little bit more setback on that area. And we were able to come up with approximately 2 feet, approximately 2 feet in some locations, just so we can make it a little bit more, comfortable for the other side if they do decide to build something. Please note, due to the narrow site constraints, it would greatly impact the project's floor area if we were to do any more than that. For example, we explored putting an extra foot on each side, and that lost us about 4,000 square feet of floor area, just like an extra foot because of how it impacts the entire building. So, doing any more setbacks than are already proposed, which I believe is more than what the downtown specific plan actually requires, should be sufficient. I also want to note that there's there's the downtown specific plan doesn't actually require setbacks in between buildings, which is what we designed it after. They want buildings built to the lot line for some reason, and there are examples of, buildings built to the lot line right there on the left and right. You can see both of those are in the DSP gateway zone, which is the exact same zone that we're in, and they have literally 0 setbacks in between the buildings. Another concern that they had with the setbacks was the operability of the windows. The windows, they have sufficient clearance to open and close within the proposed setback areas. Next slide. So this is kind of the newer version that we have. Previously we had 2 feet. Yes.
Your time is up. I'm allowing to go further, but if you can wrap up the presentation.
Sorry, I need like two more
Sure.
minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is the setbacks. I won't bore you with this. You can go to the next slide. There's not much that can be deciphered, but we did give more setbacks on the westerly side. Next one. Next slide. And then this is the parking suggestion. So a huge issue with council was that we don't provide any parking for the building. Now, we were in stage 1 design review. We were trying to still figure out this project won't work with a parking component because of how narrow the site is. However, we are rational and we do want to actually address these concerns. So we started reaching out to neighboring sites to see if they can provide some parking for the building, because even though state law doesn't require it, it will probably be needed during the process. We identified, luckily, a parking lot right across the street, which is very, very close to the property, right across Arden Avenue in that red box, that basically has approximately 1,600 parking spaces, and only 43% filled right now. So we've been talking to ownership, and they are more than open to allow us to, to use some of their parking in order to meet the parking demands of the building, proposed structure. And then,
Is that a currently publicly accessible building, or is that parking, or is that reserved for the building, the office building that's?
so that's actually reserved for certain office buildings. The 43% number I gave you, that's the ones that are currently reserved for the office.
If I was just to drive around the street, could I pull into that parking structure and pull a ticket and be able to
I think it's
Park
only
there?
for monthly, I believe it's only for monthly parkers. That specific building serves like 3 buildings in that area.
I see, okay,
Yeah, but I can double check as well, but that was my understanding.
okay. You might want to know that before you go to city council to know
Thanks.
specifically whether people can go in there now by right, so.
Thank you, appreciate it. Next slide, please. And then the renderings is the easiest part. We made some renderings just to show. And as you can see, this is the first rendering. It's a street level view. It shows kind of how small the building is compared to the rest. And then, next slide. And then this is another rendering. You can see how tiny it is compared to the rest of the buildings in that area. And then we have an interactive rendering. If anybody wants to use that, it's pretty fun. So, and that's it.
Thank you. Any questions? No?
Maybe is the architect speaking as well, or? Okay.
Is Marina, yeah, you're welcome. So,
I do have some questions about, he was mentioning the fenestration
Yes.
came up, and if you could explain
Of
that
course.
further. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that time. So we will be using high efficient, of course, glazing, but because of the, one of the guidelines from DSP, we had to have 70% glazing on the facade. We are using spandrel glazing for the
Great.
purposes, of course, for structural support, that will be used as a curtain system, as well as privacy, especially for those areas that we're gonna have recovery areas and offices and like all the sun control, all of that is going to be used with spandrel glazing. And I want to make a correction, I didn't hear well. None of the glazing is going to be operable. Everything is a fixed storefront.
That's what I
Just
thought, yeah.
the same way as any commercial healthcare buildings are.
And I have, sorry, do you have another
Okay,
question
go ahead.
regarding the windows?
I'll ask after
Okay. I also had a question regarding the murals that were proposed in here. Do you have a direction on that, or is
That's
that?
something we had to, of course, put in our package at this time for the entitlement for the public art contribution, the community contribution. Our client is going to be discussing whether, which artist to use and how
Okay.
to integrate that into our
Okay,
mural.
so these are just initial.
Concept
it
ideas,
could
yes,
go in
yes,
different
yeah,
direction, for
exactly.
instance. Okay.
But they all came in from the artists and that had been utilized in the city of Glendale.
Got it. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you so much. Do you had a
So
question?
I just want to get a clarification. So the curtain wall system here, it's not carrying any of the roof load, correct? It's just,
No, there are certain areas where it's spandrel, it does carry the roof.
it does carry some
Yes.
load, okay.
That's something that we'll be working with our structural engineer, of
Okay.
course, and I'm sure the column will be integrated,
Mm-hmm.
but spandrel does carry roof load.
Okay, yeah, because it looks, that roof
Very
structure
thin,
looks,
yes.
yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So the shear wall, I assume, is the one that would be on the eastern side of that?
Correct,
Yes, okay.
exactly, with the block veneer wall.
Okay. Did you explore at all different variations of the height of the glass at the top level? Because it's quite a bit taller than the other stories, and I'm curious what your thinking was behind that, and if you looked at different options of the same, this height,
That's a
you know.
great
there's a-
suggestion. Right now, our thinking was just to make that the corner piece to stand out more.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if more mullions and are needed to be added or for support as well, if it's not going to span 20 feet or 15 feet, we'll be taking that into and utilizing that consideration. That's a
Mm.
great suggestion because I can see the top is very, very tall.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's definitely a big deviation from the other
Correct.
floors, so that's why I was wondering
The
how many.
reason was just to make that piece stand out because
Mm-hmm.
it's the entry point as well as inside that's where the main elevator, main staircase
Mm-hmm.
and everything is. I call it the drive staircase
Mm-hmm.
because so people can use it. So I wanted a lot more light to come in there.
Got it, okay, thank you.
Sorry, I do have one more question. It would remind me a little of mass timber, or do you already have, what kind of structure are you using, or do you have any? Yeah.
Our structural consulting team is just getting started.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know if, I think it's going to be steel.
Steel,
Yeah.
okay, okay. And, yeah, and I was wondering if there were any other green elements.
Yeah, we do have, there are a few renderings that we have done that shows green screen panels with planters that are, we wanted that block wall to be just covered with greenery, and especially where the grill is for the ground level. Yeah, that would be bringing greenery, as well as on the rooftop.
Right.
The rooftop is someplace that we looked into utilizing with planters, seating, and shade elements for staff, as well as for the members and guests that are going to be visiting the space.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So you mentioned the frame, structural frame, it's going to be steel structure?
Most likely.
Potentially.
Yes, potentially,
But has there been any discussions or even early kind of like design concept with any of the structural engineer? Because I see the shear walls on the east and west elevations, but on the north and south elevations, it seems like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not every structural engineer's dream to have this much, you know?
He was shocked. He's like, Marina, whatever. He's like, but I can do it. He did tell me he's gonna be able to do it. He's done worse than this. He said he's
Okay.
gonna be able to do
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I'm curious to see.
I'll show you the structural plans. I'm curious too, because I'm not an
Yeah.
engineer myself.
I mean, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but it's also.
He panicked. He's like, what do you need me for? How do I?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
you know, every architect's dream. Go ahead. So the canopy at the front, the entrance. How's that mounted? So you have the glass. Is that mounted to the shear wall? I'm just
The shear
curious.
wall from the side.
So is that cantilevered canopy?
Cantilevered canopy. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And
They've got some engineering work to do.
yeah,
It's
a
clear, you
lot
know.
of engineering to do. So it's a beautiful design. I really like it. So it just I guess just personal experience is that when structural gets involved, the design might change, and I don't know how it's going to reflect on this change. So I'm curious.
Big knot.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough. I mean, these structural engineers, it's hard to deal with. I'm one of them. So
They
it's,
were involved during the preliminary design phases. We worked as a team, all of us. So it wasn't a big shock, but he did say this is going to be complicated, but I'm going to be able to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, from operation standpoint, if we can go to first floor, please, or level 1, first floor. Yeah. So are we separating the building? So there's going to be an entrance on that side where
Yes.
the cursor and then
Secondary
and then
entrance.
secondary.
And the primary entrance is from the Arden side.
So can where the cursor was at that entrance on the left side, can they enter and go to the elevators and go to the other building, the other floors, or no?
Yes, they can.
They can.
There's an
Yes.
elevator on both sides.
Yeah.
Got it.
And the main reason that we wanted that to be another entrance, we wanted them to have direct access to the park that Chris just mentioned, to utilize the park, especially if members are going to be coming and using from medical offices. We want the staff to go into the park too,
Okay. Okay.
from the second floor.
And what's the building occupancy here? How many staff members are we anticipating to work in this building?
Well, we have provider offices on the second floor. Sergey, do you have an idea of how many doctors?
I think it's gonna be about 10 doctors.
And then the supporting staff.
Supporting staff,
I mean,
probably each will have a nurse or assistant.
okay.
Um,
So is it fair to say 30 to 50? Or-
15, 10 to 20, something like that.
Okay.
Again, I'm not sure at this point.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
have
Yeah,
the,
we
we're
shouldn't be
gonna need
having.
to have
Oh,
the,
I'm sorry. If you can please step forward, state your name.
yes,
so
please,
you
and
can,
fill out a card too.
Yeah, and please fill out a card,
So
just so.
state your name again for the record.
Sergey Yesin.
Okay, can we ask the question again
Yeah.
so we can
Yeah.
capture it,
So
please?
the question is, how many individuals do you anticipate to occupy this
I
building
think
just
it's going
from
to be 10
staffing?
to 20.
10 to 20.
approximately.
Um,
And the other area, back to the question that you had to Marina, the entrance area from the park, also we discussed with the Hilton Hotel. So Hilton is right next to it. I spoke to the management company of Hilton Hotel's parking lot, and they said that they always have available parking spaces, and actually our visitors can drop off the car for valet to park at Hilton, and we can have monthly paid membership, which we can actually pay for our visitors. And they can walk and enter from that side through the park. So that was another option, besides the option that we already discussed to lease.
And just for clarification from parking, if we go back to first floor, please, there's some parking.
It's a drop-off area,
Is it,
loading.
I'm looking at this plan here, which is with the orange. There's some parking shown. This is A 1.0? SI-A 1.0? Oh, yeah, the fifth slide, please, yeah. So are there parking on where it says property line? Is that parking there? Because I'm seeing ADA signs, I'm seeing, yeah, please step forward if you want to speak, yeah.
Marina again. That is from the adjacent lot at the bottom.
Okay,
They are the existing parking striping that they have currently.
but that is not.
That's not
That's
part
not
of
you.
our,
Okay.
no.
So
We
maybe-
only
maybe-
have a loading zone as indicated in that hatched area and a turnaround as well as a bike rack parking area.
Got it.
That's
got it.
required.
Maybe if we can just remove it that way. I know it says the property line just for
got it.
clarity, so,
Okay.
you know. Yeah, okay. That's all my questions. Any other questions, board members?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
No public speakers, any callers?
We don't have any callers.
Any callers? So I close the public section, or public comment section, and we can go to deliberations. So, Board Member Lakraf, you can start.
So first of all, thank you for the presentations from everyone. It was very helpful and to understand the project even better. I strongly support the project. I think it's great and how it activates the park, and I think for the people using the building, it'll be really great for them to have that experience in the park and be restorative for them. I think that the design's lovely. I like the interlocking Ls. I agree with potentially adding some mullions at the top, and you might need it. I am curious how structure will impact it, so it'd be great, and maybe in your next visit to council, if you have a little more information regarding how that might impact the aesthetics. I would say, I love the interlocking Ls, the balance that it creates a landmark. This higher portion, it's going to be very, it'll help to orient people along the street, and I think that's very nice. And even just how the circulation works, and it's dual-sided, I think it's a thoughtful design. And I am happy that you guys found a parking partner, or a couple options there. And I think, again, having that as Board Member Welsh mentioned, ready for council in detail will be super helpful. Let's see, I think that's it. Just overall, I'd say, the murals, that was one thing I was just gonna say, just some kind of development on that might help as well. I would say maybe more imagery and less words would be nice. And And yeah, I would say that maybe some development in that area would be great. And also, I know that a lot of these things are, I was going to ask questions about how the windows look, and it sounds like that's in development. So just showing more of that would be super helpful at the next stage of this project. But yeah, overall.
Board Member Welch?
Thank you. I concur. I think it's a lovely project. I was really very pleased by seeing this. In particular, you know, as you said, it's going to be like a true landmark kind of a thing that people may, oh, that building, yes. So well done there. I think that's very good. And to be honest, in this particular neighborhood, I don't have a problem with the lack of parking because there is such an abundance of parking in that area. There's so many office spaces, the hotel, everything. There are parking options as long as you can, make the case for that you've explored it, that there's publicly available parking in the neighborhood. We have to start thinking about being more flexible in terms of parking, especially with, the laws coming down from the state that says, hey, BRT, you don't need anything here. So, take advantage of it, yes, and hopefully there are these opportunities to find other parking for your guests, because you certainly want to attract guests, and clients for your tenants here, so that would be good. I agree, I'd like to see a little bit more development of the engineering, because I, too, was, as I said, a little concerned about, the structure of that. The expectation that this is all going to be able to carry all the shear force is something that I would challenge unless I saw the engineering for it. So definitely having something on that, because I would expect, with the amount of moment frames that you'd have to incorporate here, that it would be bulkier than we're seeing. And so that would be a shame, because, the jewel box quality of what you've done here is really exceptional. And I'd hate to see just it be swallowed up by an engineer's, stiff arms. No offense. I would also like to applaud, the creation of roof decks, that are available for the tenants. And finally, accessing that park space and having an entrance where, brilliant, that is a very, very underutilized little park space. It just sits on top of the Verdugo Wash there, and I don't know hardly anybody that I ever see in there. So utilizing it as part of the entranceway and access there, I think it's a very, very well deserved use of the space, and I applaud that thinking in terms of these dual entranceways. So those are my thoughts. The only consideration I'd give is again, with that upper roof section, I love the idea that it's taller. I'm not sure it needs to be that much taller. So I would just, maybe explore a few different options, and particularly as you're getting into the engineering side of it, that might help, alleviate some of the engineering concerns. But by and large, lovely job. So thank you for presenting it.
Thank you, Board Member Welsh. Let me start off my initial reaction when we received this package, and we put in a lot of effort to come in here prepared. So when I first saw this almost a week ago, I was like, what a lovely design. I mean, truly kudos to you guys. It's beautiful. And my immediate second reaction to that was, oh my God, how's the structural going to impact this design, and what's going to look like at the end product. So I'm curious to see. I'm very curious to see how the engineering solutions are for this project, and how that may or may not impact overall design. Because you've done such a great job, and from all these elements, whether that's the canopy or else, it just needs to be filled in the blanks, because right now you're showing obviously at the entrance, but it's not really clear how that's attached. So seeing those would help everyone the decision making or approval. I do agree with my colleague, Board Member Walsh, maybe making it the similar height, especially you have the room to play with. So I think that will create more balance design. And as far as the murals, I do agree with my board member, Lakoff. More mural, less writing, and I think hiring a local artist, it's a great way to go. They know the community, they understand the fabric of the city, so I think that would be great addition to your team if you implement that. Parking, again, my initial reaction, at least staff parking, especially if you have such a low 10 to 20 staff members, I think that would have been ideal, especially these staff, they are caregivers, so last thing they want probably go back and forth, to their cars, whether that's parked at the hotel or elsewhere. Again, my suggestion is to consider it. I think it's a good addition to the value of the building. It's not like, there's no value of adding parking. There's definitely, from real estate standpoint, I think there's value for parking. So even though the law isn't on your side, I get it, but at least consider the parking element. So overall, again, I'm in support of the project. It's lovely design, and kudos to you guys. So thank you. And so this is advisory. With that,
So we noted all the comments. And
I have comments, if you want, I can read it back.
sure, let's,
But we're not going to have any vote.
Sure.
Because it's an advisory. So I heard that we want to see some information about the engineering solution for this design to make sure that the same design is being carried over when the structures are ready. We want to see some division for the upper portion windows at the corner feature. We want to see the details of the artwork, and particularly a local artist to be involved on that. Also, we want to have this consideration to provide parking for at least staff members for this building. And what else I have? I think that's all I have. Am I right? Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
are we missing anything?
I don't think so.
No. I would say, though, that in terms of the parking, there were differing things I heard, so I don't know.
Yeah, I
guess
was fine with the no
Yeah, and I
parking,
think
so.
I'm okay with it, but I think as a consideration,
As a- I can
yeah,
have it
but
as a
I'm
consideration.
not, I think.
Well, we're not
across
creating,
the-
we're not
yeah.
creating conditions or
Right,
considerations.
right,
We're
that's
just
true.
giving some
That's true.
advice to council,
Yeah.
so.
Right,
For
so
the-
I
for the
also am
comment,
not.
Probably I can mention that you agreed with the design as it is.
Yes.
Using the provisions of AB 2097 for not providing parking space, but it would be nice to have the consideration for providing at least some amount of parking spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be, is if they aren't able, but it sounds like they're able to negotiate with the neighbors, so it's not.
heard that
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
right, so thank you.
Thank you.
And can we repeat item 1, please? I just don't want.
About the
let's hear it
engineering
again.
stuff? About the engineering?
Engineering stuff.
So I heard almost same concern about having some information about the engineering. I heard structural engineering design. I heard solution to come up with, showing how this engineering solution would be. But at this point, I'm not sure if when we are going to city council, we want to see the full structural and engineering design for this project, or we want to have a write-up from an engineer confirming that structural can be designed as architectural. So is it going to be sufficient, or we want to see some?
Well, that's up to city council, of
Yeah.
course, but I,
Because city council, I'm not sure how they will have interest of reading structural drawing or calculation on this.
yeah, I think that if the applicant could bring a structural engineer or their structural engineer who they've brought on their team to speak to the manager and
That's a
say
good
that,
way.
the design as it is workable, we can mark it, it's not going to significantly impact
Okay.
the design, I think that giving them that assurance would probably be sufficient.
Okay, that's a very good idea. Sure,
Yeah, I concur with that. Yeah.
okay, then. That's all.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. So,
I think I can move to adjourn.
I second the motion. Yes.
Adjourn. Okay, well,
good luck.
Thank you.
6:06. We're adjourned.
Backseat of your Rover that I know you can't afford. Bite that tattoo on your shoulder. Pull the sheets right off the corner of the mattress that you stole from your roommate back in Boulder.